And the klaxon sounds to welcome you back to Intel Extreme Masters Cologne 2014, our last stop on our Season 8 tour of the world and the final chance for our StarCraft 2 professionals to claim the last two spots in Katowice. There are two open bracket slots in Katowice that they can claim as well, but they'll definitely want to qualify if they can from the $25,000 tournament here in Cologne as part of ESL Studio 1. With Todd right now, after a very interesting analysis of the last game, we'll move swiftly on past that.
Is that what you call it?
I'd say it was ludicrously horrible, but that's fine. It just showed me how what a great job you guys do. We're going to move on to QXC now versus Dia. These two have a little bit of history. I mean, it's not a massive rivalry, but they've played each other before. And QXE was very keen to remind me that he won one map against Deer last time. But let's be honest, it wasn't the most conventional way of winning.
Yes, these two guys, they played in MLG before. It was the best of three. And in the first game on Belcher Vestige, QXE, in his own words, he fell very far behind and he was getting wrecked.
He was getting
He was
rolled.
losing a lot of SCVs to the Dark Templars of his opponent. So I actually liked how he told the story and he did the body movements. He's like, so I took all of my SCVs and I went for an attack. And then he said that they were fighting for some time, but in the end he was able to barely come out on top with units rallied across the map. In his words, 4 SCVs back at home plus the mules mining. And he was barely able to get a win versus Deer, but at least he was honest. He said that in the two other games,
yes,
he got destroyed. So going into this match against Deer, do you think Deer even remembers that he played against? Does he know who QX is?
I had a conversation with J-Dong earlier, who just popped into the studio, and he came over to say hi, and I was standing with Rhett, and Rhett immediately saw him and says, dude, do you remember back in 2008 when we played Brood War against each other? We played in the group stages, and I played you, and J-Dong was like, yeah, I wrecked you in like 5 minutes, right? So if J-Dong can remember a game against Rhett 6 years ago, yeah, I'm pretty sure Deer probably still remembers QXC from a couple of years ago, so I don't think he's going to put too much stock on it, though. So,
you know, thinking about the games that these guys played before, Deer, even though he lost, like he showed a few good things, but he wasn't that impressive. And when QXC played against Patience, he showed brilliance a little bit.
Yeah, I think game one.
In that third game, he had a chance. Yeah. So, if you look at it this way, do you think that's? I'm sorry, I'm the one asking questions.
I know, this is a role reversal right now. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting asked the questions.
You're doing the
here.
analysis.
Okay, I guess I'm carrying. Well, no. You know what, Todd? I think Deer's one of the top players in the world, and he's been that way for a good 6 months now, but we haven't really seen too much of him so far in 2014. But I think you're right. I think QXC showed us enough in Game 1 of his first match, and enough in Game 3 to suggest that this might not be quite so straightforward.
This is exactly what I would have said.
We're a good partnership. Thank you, Todd, for now. That's it from Todd's. Todd will be back at the end of this game for some proper analysis, and we'll hopefully catch up with the winner as well. For now, though, it's time for our lower bracket game number 1. Just the last game for one of these two players, sadly. Will it be QXC back on a plane to America, or is Deer heading back to Korea without a single note of money? We'll find out in the next few moments as we go over to our commentary team for game number 4 in Group B.
Thank you very much, Red Eye and Todd. You guys are funny. Do you agree?
They are.
I think they've been really funny
Everybody's
today.
getting funnier as long as the day progresses.
Yes, I think that was the same as yesterday as well.
Yes.
I don't know if it has any correlation with how tired everyone's getting.
It's either tired or everybody's drinking loads of alcohol in secret or something like that. I'm not sure.
I'll let you guys at home decide that one. So, as we get ready for the Group B loser match here, as one player will be eliminated from Group B and from the tournament here at the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne, as we get close to wrapping up the day, as you say. There's only 2 games left, this one, and then the final game to determine the second player of Group B to join the already 3 Protoss players. 3 out of 3, Rhett, in the round of 8 so far.
It's possible that we actually get an 8 out of 8. It's really up to Mana.
It is possible, yes it is.
I mean, Mana's going to have to get rid of J-Dong and Polt, which is definitely not an easy feat, but it is possible, especially with the last group being Classic and MC.
Yep.
As a Zerg player, it would make me happy to see 8 Protoss players.
It would.
It proves a point.
I think every Terran player would be happy.
Every Terran player would be happy.
Well, they would be happy, but non-happy. I guess it's the same for you. You'd kind of be split. You'd be happy, but then you'd be sad, especially if J-Dong didn't make it through.
I'm really hoping for J-Dong. Like, all my hopes for this tournament are now pinned onto him.
So Jaedong and Innovation, those guys that a lot of you knew that were playing in this tournament, will be playing tomorrow, and we will be covering Group C and Group D. But for now, Group B, this is the loser game. QXC on the right-hand side here, playing for Team Complexity, going up against Dia, who recently joined Mouse Sports. He had a fantastic 2013. But here's the vetoes coming in. We've got Daedalus Point
Daedalus, yeah.
gone by QXC. Doesn't want to play Blink. Doesn't want to play against Protoss player on that map. And then Habitation Station.
Interesting veto there. That's not usually a map that Protoss would veto, I think.
Yonsu.
QXC is thinking.
Yonsu, come on.
It's got to be
What are you gonna
Yonsu.
do?
It's a Blink map.
It's a Blink map. It's a Protoss map.
Everybody hates Blink.
Everyone has Blink. And Oracles. And then DTs too sometimes. And then don't get me started on fast third bases.
Mothership course.
Oh, the foot and overcharge.
What don't we hate? What do we like about Protoss? What do you like about Protoss?
Probes.
Sean? Yeah, probes are nice.
Probes are really weak.
Gentle probes.
So Yonsu was the map eliminated from QXC here, just getting rid of the maps that have proven to be a lot more difficult against Protoss players in recent times and in the last couple of major tournaments. And now we're going to select the map order. So from 1 to 3, this is a best of 3. I think QXC may pick first, but at the moment I think it's Dia. We'll see now.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Oh, there's only 3 to choose from.
I feel like it is. Oh, they've already decided?
Oh, we don't know.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. Oh, well. So it is QXC who started off the day quite well here in Cologne, Germany, playing against Patience, who is the first place finisher in Group B, and took Heavy Rain away from him. Playing pretty good, bear in mind.
Yeah.
And he didn't play terrible going on to the next couple of maps either.
No.
But Patience is a quality player, and you've pegged him as a player to do really well in this tournament. But he goes up now, QXC that is, against Dia.
Yeah.
On paper, every time these play a best of 3, best of 5, best of 7, QXC loses. This is not meant to be a game that QXC wins.
Everyone's gonna go for D here, and I feel like I'm kind of hoping QXC wins because I do feel like the way he played against Patience, the games he showed were impressive, and it was playing worthy of some recognition.
Yeah.
And for him to do that and then play against Deer is like insanely rough. Like he's gonna play 2 games and possibly lose both, and then no one's gonna remember what he did. But I actually feel like he did play very, very well.
Yeah.
And he did show that his practice has paid off, and he's constantly improving.
Yeah, that's
even after 4 years of playing this game, he's still improving. And he's a player that people have to take into consideration.
He's put a lot of hard work into StarCraft in the last 6 months. Definitely, he's playing 8 to 10 hours every day, dedicating all his time to the game, and it shows through his passion. Sometimes he's smashing his keyboards, he's getting frustrated with losses, but he's throwing everything into it.
Yeah.
And like you said, he did play well against Patience, but he is going up against Dia. There is the map order at the bottom of the screen for you guys. But QXC. This isn't going to be easy. The 24-year-old from the United States of America, is he going to be able to relive former glories? Remember the times he went to Korea and he played against Incredible Miracle?
Actually,
yeah, was to be able to get the to get the all kill. But this is Dia, a 19-year-old with an absolutely blinding last 9 months, with 2 major tournament finishes, first place finishes that is, and then of course top 4 in the Hot Sex Cup, and then of course a top 8 at BlizzCon, and most notably recently the 2nd place finish at the Asus ROG, an incredibly stacked tournament. And QXC is definitely going to have a hard time because just in comparison of results in the last 6 months, let's just compare 6 months to 9 months. You've got Dia's results as mentioned, and then you've got QXC, qualified for Challenger, and then got knocked out of Challenger straight away. There's a massive difference in results. And it's going to be hard for QXC, but as you say, if he is able to do it, this is a massive win for him, and I'm sure he'll be proud of his result.
QXC is a player that's been, fighting in all the qualifiers. Always trying to qualify, getting very close. The Challenger qualifiers filled with Koreans, so QXC has a lot of experience dealing with these Korean players. And now he finally made it to an offline event, and as a reward, he first plays Patience, and then he plays Deer.
More importantly, he plays Protoss.
He plays against Protoss, and it's a best of 3, and it's all on the line right now. I'm massively rooting for QXC, and I'm hoping he can put forward his best game. And no matter what happens, I'm going to be proud of QXC just for the way he played against Patience. I think he showed some really, really impressive games.
Deer, of course, invited into the tournament through his WCS ranking. QXC, a qualifier from the North American region. And now they go head-to-head in the losers match of Group B. One player will move on to face off against Jack G in the last remaining game. And players that play StarCraft a lot are going to look at that minimap and see one thing. But up here to the top left, as the Red Terran playing for Complexity, it's QXC. USA represent. USA. If this was an MLG, there would be those chants. You know it, Red. And then over here to the bottom side of Polar Knight, playing for Mouse Sports, it's Deer. And he has sent that probe out, right?
There's a probe going, and there's a pylon going up right in front of QXC's base. And so far, in pretty much every TVP we've had, the Terran player was scouting for proxies. This is the first time we've actually seen it happen. What do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be a 1-gate? Is it going to be a 1-gate cybernetic score? Is it going to be a 2-gate?
I think 1-gate cybernetic score here. Would you have to agree with that, you think?
I think so too, and QXC going for 12 barracks. What do you think is the ideal response here for Terran? Looks like the SCV is going to scout here. So
Scouting is the ideal response, right? To be able to see it, but I don't think he's going to go there.
No, he's not going to.
I mean, how often is a Protoss player going to do that? He's actually look at his SCV.
He's going all the way to the left side, but he's not going to see.
Wait, is that it? Is he going to second barracks, Red? Is he going to?
Maybe this is going to be like a similar crazy game like the one we saw last.
He is doing the second barracks.
Wow.
Wow, this is 2 barracks versus proxy.
Out?
Stalkers beat Marines.
yeah. And there's already a geyser for Deer, so this is definitely going to be not just cells. It's going to be stalkers.
Yeah.
This is a rough position. See already.
This is, I mean, you've chosen to build, and then your opponent is blindly. I mean, both of them have just blindly said, "All right, going into game number 1, I shall do this." And when they react against each other, this is a little bit hard. But you know, it's not all hope is not lost for QXC.
I think this is definitely a better situation than if you would go like 1-Rex CC or CC first, or even 1-Rex Reaper.
Oh, he's scouting around his natural with the Marine.
Yeah.
If only he was to go yeah, if only he was to go a little bit more south, then he'd actually see this, unfortunately.
Go south. Do it, QXC.
He's got the Marine waypointed back to his base.
Wouldn't it be so much better if the players could actually hear the casters like at WCS?
Yeah, they could, Red. Imagine that. They'd be defending this attack. 2 Marines,
There's the
2
2
Zealots.
And now QXC is like, oh my god, what do I do? There's 2 Zealots. I make a bunker, but...
He's going to lose a lot of SCVs here if he tries to defend. He's got 3 Marines. Let's have a look at this now. So obviously 1 Zealot's going to target down 1 SCV building. He's going to have to pull SCVs. If he can get that bunker up and actually complete it, and that's pretty good. Microsoft, this is a good start.
Defense.
Yeah, good start.
For him.
Here comes the Stalker, though. That bunker needs to...
There's already a Marine coming from the second barracks, and right now it's actually 6 Marines against a Stalker and 2 Zealots.
That bunker! He's going to have to pull some RCVs here, I think. There's 2 Zealots here and the Stalker. The bunker needs to complete. 1 Zealot is going to get tagged just at the last second there, but the Marines are going down really fast. There's Marines coming from the backside too. And now Deer must be like, wait a minute. The bunker is done.
Yeah, and Deer has to know what's going on with the Marines coming from the backside. This Stalker might actually die. If this Stalker would die, it would be huge.
There's a Marine at the back. Oh, and he moves to the right. Oh, he gets it.
He gets it.
He actually gets it. That one Marine, that American bullet, that American-made bullet.
That courage. Like, if he was not American, he would have not charged for that Stalker. He would have backed up.
No. If he was, any other country, he would have gone home. He would have not wanted to take that fight. But he took it. He put his body on the line, and he killed that Stalker. And now, QXC...
Getting that eBay block is very, very nice.
He can just expand from this position,
he's
though,
getting
surely.
command center, and now his command center is actually ahead of the Nexus, so once again, a crazy opening by both players, and Deer finds the second barracks. Probably going to be able to take out these Marines. Let's see if QXC actually wants to make a stand.
The weird thing is, though, this game will stabilize, and it will go on to expansion plays, I'd imagine. Well, we do see a second gas being taken from Deer.
There's a plus.
Okay.
How did he micro with his mouse being?
That's the reason why he hasn't won this game already.
Yeah.
This game will kind of stabilize for a little bit, but we do see a second gas being taken for Deer upon seeing that his natural has got an engineering bay down. But QXC is going to expand, Deer's going to expand, and the game will go on.
This engineering bay is actually really good. Like, it's already at 70-43 out of 850 health.
Yeah.
So it's going to take Deer a while to clear this engineering bay. He's going to have to send his units back from QXC's base. So he has a choice to make. He's either going to lose his contain and clear his expansion really fast, or he's going to have a much later expansion than he wants to. So it's interesting to see what he's going to do. But it's kind of funny, like right now the supply difference is about 7. And I feel like QXC has got the worst end of this opening. But it's not game ending.
Yeah.
It's still pretty even. He needs his gas soon though.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll... so he's just checking his mouse. As you saw in game that he...
What kind of mouse is that anyways?
Like,
looks like a
know.
10-year-old mouse.
It looks like one of those mouse you get when your dad gives you or your brother gives you your first PC. It's like a Logitech mouse or
Yeah,
something.
it's like cut like a little ball instead of like a laser. Like no wonder there's problems with this mouse, honestly. Like.
You know, that's probably the reason why this mouse isn't working.
But look at Deer, he's got like a similar kind of mouse.
You got to take the ball out of that thing. You got to blow inside, you know?
Yeah, he needs to definitely blow a little bit. There's a lot of dust in there. He's used that for a long time. Like he always takes the rage out on his keyboard, but he never takes the rage out on his mouse.
So
if he would smash that mouse would be done. Because that's a very old mouse.
The admin's like, yeah, doesn't work.
Yeah, it's not working as it should be. I never actually play StarCraft, but it doesn't feel good.
It's funny that QXE allows him to test it. He's like, yeah, let me
like if I was playing and an admin would test my stuff, I'd be like,
let me test it.
Am I sure that it's not moving right? Can you like tell me, like, can you confirm?
Look at QXE. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not working the way that it usually does. And the enemy's like, no, it goes up and down.
I mean, the cursor is moving, guys. I mean, what more do you want?
She's like, dude, it's not set up properly, man.
I can't make my special micro moves like this. I mean, his earphones are not properly in.
At least the mouse was working for him to get that last stalker with that.
He did get that stalker, yeah.
That was. It looks like QXC's ready.
QXC's
Clean that
go.
mouse. All right, let's go. Admin going to resume the game. We can jump straight back into this, and we are just in a, I suppose, in a very stabilized position from this point.
QXC going for 4 barracks. I'm not sure I like this move.
That's 3, right? It's a command center.
Command center, and then he's going to have 4 barracks.
Oh, he's adding on another one.
Double gas.
Well, this is intriguing.
So this is going to be a heavy, like, kind of 2-base play, but I feel like I would have liked to see a 3rd CC in this position because QXC had a lot of money, and I feel like his stim is going to be so late that any kind of 2-base push, Deer will be ready for.
Well, look at Deer. He's actually throwing down extra gateways, and if you look at the way that this is set up for Deer versus QXC, you'd have to lean towards QXC by having an extra production facility than what a regular turn would have. He's even getting a Twilight Council in here. That won't be really used. Yeah, it won't really be used immediately, but it's definitely something that can come into use afterwards. As you can see, the gateways and warp gate research will finish before any upgrade can be finished from the Twilight Council here.
Yeah, so actually going for this 4 barracks, I really like this considering Deer went for the 3-gate 1-base. Because now QXC is going to have a lot of units to defend whatever Deer throws at him. And Deer is not going to have a very fast expansion. Also going for the Robo. It's actually going to turn into a very, very even game.
Yeah, this is a decent setup for QXC. Very scary from the get-go there, but he was able to survive past the first couple of minutes. And the game does go on here. So he's got double tech labs down, which is always nice. He's got stim and concussor shells on the way. Sees a couple of stalkers down there here. And QXC, remember, is still in the dark. He doesn't really know what's going on. He doesn't know about the next being down. He doesn't really know if gateways or tech has been thrown down. This, for all he knows, still could be an oracle about to fly into his mineral line. So he's got to be very, very careful here. Mothership Core does poke in the main base for Deer, who he's not going to see the full amount of barracks.
But I really like this double Marauder production. QXC is going to have a heavy punch once his stim finishes.
Yeah.
And now he's going to already move out. He's going to be able to take his expansion rather comfortably. Like
he's got to be careful. These stalkers, when Blink is done, can easily jump into the main base here. QXC doesn't really...
He's got so many Marauders, I think he's going to be fine against this. He's going to be able to take out this gateway and pile him without a problem.
Yeah. And Stim still about 70 seconds away. And Time Warp does come down here. And one Stalker, another one gets beaten up there by these Marina Marauders, chasing down the Mothership Core. Another Time Warp comes in, but there are more and more units here,
the Mothership
Red.
Core falls.
And the Marauders don't really want to be targeting the Zealots too much here. And more units getting warped in, and the bunker's about to complete, but
SCVs are coming down the line.
Time warp!
This is so close.
He's going to get back to the bunkers. Now he just needs to get those SCVs back to mining here.
Nicely done by QC.
And with the mothership core gone, though, the bright side of this is that he can't exactly blink into the main base at this point. So there's only the 2 bunkers that he's going to have to fight heads up against, and a 3rd one being made. So QXC will hold this natural, and he will get stim completed.
Yeah, very nice opening by QXC, considering what happened so far. I think he's definitely got the better end of this deal. And now Blink is complete, but Deer's not going to get anything done. He doesn't even need this 3rd bunker, QXC does.
Yeah, this is the perfect time for stop +1 attack, I think, as well. For QXC on his engineering bay.
QXC is really playing well. He's playing these top Koreans, and he doesn't look outclassed in any way. He's keeping up fine. He's making the right decisions. And he's got put himself up nicely in this game.
Yeah, he's got units like he's got the bunkers with a few in there, but how many times is Deer going to attack the front here? And he's got quite a few units waiting for the blink inside the main.
There's the blink.
Stim is done. This could be a major blink. Oh, he goes for it here. And QXC surely must be looking to jump on this.
Stim.
He brings the SCVs. He's got a stim.
Stim.
Ah, was
He's
stim?
a little bit afraid.
Oh, he doesn't want to stim it.
Still, he kills 2 stalkers, 3 stalkers. Now the blink micro pops in.
That was
and
good
Deer,
stuff. I think he still could have stimmed and killed a lot more.
He
but
could have killed
he was
maybe
playing
2 or
it
3 more stalkers.
cautiously.
Yeah, he was a little bit afraid.
Cautiously, doesn't have his medivacs out yet. Doesn't want to get these units worn down. Combat shield's about to complete here, but so far so good for QXC. Deer notices the weakness at the front, but with 3 bunkers, it's a plenty enough time for him to just be able to get his units back in position. But the medivacs aren't too far away now, as we see the starport almost completed. And if QXC survives the next minute or 2 and is able to get up to medivacs and increase his unit count and also get towards that +1 attack, he's in great shape. But is he going to survive well for the next couple of minutes?
Deer is constantly harassing, and it's really hard to know right now for QXC if it's like a mass blink stalker all in which case he has to be really afraid. But Deer is continuing pro production, and this bunker will fall down.
Yeah, it's going to fall down, which means the
doesn't
SCVs
save
are going to get beaten up a little bit now too. And QXC is going to take another fight. There are a lot of Marauders here, but he needs to get the medivacs into this.
If the medivacs finish, he's in such a good position. Oh, he stims actually forward and takes out the stalkers. But the Marauders do fall, and oh my god, it looks like Deer just barely has enough. But there's more Marauders at the back, and wow, what an even fight. And actually so many stalkers die. What an even game this is.
He's lost a lot of critical mass there with these stalkers. +1 attack is zooming in just a couple of seconds, and the starport is about to get switched over. He's got the gas, he needs the minerals. The first medevac's on the way now. He's surviving right now, and Deer is continuing the onslaught, just units after units here.
Yeah.
And +1 attack not too far away from Deer either, and it is immensely intense. But with the mothership core gone, it's only a frontal attack once again. In QXC, these SCVs, American flags in hand, because they are standing there like true soldiers, just buffering for these Marauders. The medivacs are about to see stims one more time, realizing that they're not too far away. And he, again, takes down a lot of these stalkers.
Wow. QXC amazing. He just barely holds on. He kills the last of the stalkers, and there are the medivacs, and now QXC's like...
He's held on.
I'm fine. I defended the blink all in. What are you going to do, Deer? Like, you got +1. What do you have? You have a robo?
Yeah.
There's no Colossus on the way. There's just more gateways on the way. There's no charge on the way.
38 SCVs as well, even though he's lost 30.
Yeah.
He has lost 3-0 SCVs.
His main is almost mined out, though.
Yeah.
This is a crazy game. Like, he put himself in such a nice position, such an amazing defense. Going up against a guy who just won the Korean WCS last year.
Yeah.
And doing this crazy proxy build, and he was just like, nah.
No
I'm gonna
way.
go proxy racks. I'm gonna defend your shit, and now I got medivacs. I'm gonna kill your ass.
He's coming for that. He's definitely coming for Deer's ass here, Brett. As he's stimming towards this natural, and there is not a lot left. The mothership core. Oh my god!
He's got mouse problems again.
That mouse.
Man, imagine if his mouse was like a proper Razer mouse.
Dude, that is the sickest, smoothest plug.
Oh yeah. Well, yesterday I was talking about Rocket, so today it's Razer, and it's really time to clean the mouse. Like, can we get like a little cloth to clean the ball in that 12-year-old mouse?
I don't know how it reminds me very much so of snooker players or billiard or pool players, you know? And they're like, referee, come clean this white ball for me.
Yeah, I need to fix like.
Oh, QXC.
His micro was still pretty sick though. What do you think he could have done if his mouse was actually like from 2009 or more recent?
Or later. I think the game might have been over. He would have defended a lot earlier, Brett. But right now, QXE has a supply lead. He is about to charge at the Protoss player, who does have a photon overcharge, but there's a lot of marauders. He's like, dude, like, oh, what can I do, man? My mouse doesn't work.
He does actually have a photon overcharge. I didn't realize
He's got a photon overcharge.
He's going to be fine.
And it's 6 marauders, 10 marines.
And
against 8
QXE,
stalkers too.
because of the mules, he's going to be mined out in his main sooner than Deer is. So he's actually going to need to start a third base. He can't actually 2-base all in very well off this. He's going to have to take a third base because I don't think he's going to be able to kill Deer. I'm not sure he realizes that. I think he's going to go for a big attack, and if Deer defends this, then QXE's in trouble, but we'll have to see. Photon overcharge is pretty good.
It is pretty
Is
good.
he actually going to switch mouse mid-game?
No way.
Some kind of crazy move, like he has actually switched to a Razer mouse, like I said he should. This is a Razer Abyssus, right?
It's an Abyssus, yes.
Is he actually switching mouse mid-game? I can't believe this. Who can do this? Who can switch mouse mid-game? It's a totally different mouse. This is insane. This has never been seen before. If he wins this game, he deserves a medal.
Oh, losing it. This is crazy.
Dude, he's switching to a totally different mouse. Oh my god.
This is a pro gamer freaking out while casting a game as another pro gamer has decided to switch
I could never
the mouse.
switch to another mouse. I need at least like 20 games to get used to it. He's playing against Deer. He's like a top 5 pros in William. I need a different mouse, guys. Like I defended this blink all in, but it's not working for me.
It might be just the test though. It might be just the test mouse. They're like, yo, try this mouse and see if it's the same.
Like imagine if QXE...
Look at Deer right now. He's like, is he seriously?
Is he really switching mouse right now?
Does he know who I am?
I can't believe this. How can this American guy just switch mouse in the middle of a game against Deer? Jesus.
Is he going to continue on with it though? That's the big question. I think I think it was just a test mouse. Okay.
Yeah.
No need to freak out. It was just a test. I think it was just that. He's going to plug his own back in now.
No, it's another mouse. It's a totally different. It's a SteelSeries mouse. He's just trying like every different brand right now. Like, what the hell?
How is he doing?
What's wrong with his mouse?
I can't believe he's got over to SteelSeries now.
What's next? What's next, Rocket?
This is crazy.
I feel like we need like all the mouse producing companies here, and whichever mouse QXE ends up using is definitely the best mouse. 'Cause he's trying all of them. All right, this feels pretty good. Yeah.
It clicks pretty smoothly.
I've never seen this before, have you?
No, that's why it's so funny. He's
got the Q-pad mouse pad.
Oh, God.
Not sure which mouse correlates best with the Q-pad mouse pad.
Oh, all right. Yeah. He's satisfied with this mouse.
This is the one. This is his Valentine mouse. The SteelSeries.
Oh, this is
Let's
crazy.
see if it's
okay.
a love match made in heaven.
He said he's ready in game. So let's jump back into this. Wow.
Deer's like,
I cannot believe this.
This is crazy. This does not happen in WCS Korea or Pro League.
It doesn't happen. That's a fact. All right, we're ready. We're back into the game in QXE.
QXE with his new and improved mouse, his new and improved micro. Let's see if his APM actually goes up.
Well,
his APM is over at 440 right now. Holy shit, this mouse is amazing. He's at 500 APM.
And
he backs off.
Photon overcharge not
Very
activated there.
Very precise clicks by QXE right now.
+1 armor now coming in for QXE, and a couple of extra barracks too. That's a lot of barracks. He does have that third command center now starting. And what a set of distractions here from both sides, both
Supply block a little
perspectives.
bit is QXE, starting his depot a little bit late.
Yeah, and
probably all the mouse distraction. But still, I think I really like that QXE started his third CC because he's out of minerals soon as his main, and he realized it. So.
He's got to be very careful here, though, Rhett. I mean, there's a lot of gateways that Deer's thrown down. I think he's up to quite a lot now, 7 gateways.
Yeah, but he's got nothing but gateways, so it's going to be like a mass blink attack.
And Zealot charge too. He's about to finish Zealot charge.
Zealot charge and blink.
Yeah.
So Deer's kind of got the same problem where his main base is running out of minerals. And he's got a lot of gateways, but no tech. There's a Templar archives, but
QXE should know, the longer this game goes on in 2 bases,
Yeah.
the better shape he would be in. So he doesn't really need to push the issue and be overly aggressive. Because, for example, if he loses this army, then he virtually loses the game. So
And he's getting the armory, so he realizes he's over at 1-1 and Deer is upgrading consistently. So QXC doing a good job making all the right steps to actually have some continuity in this game. Gonna increase his upgrades, take a third base as soon as his command center is done. And actually, I really like this position for QXC, but this blink charge attack will be dangerous.
Yeah.
Storm as well. Always a scary sight for any Terran player.
Pylon on the left-hand side is going to get picked off here. Yeah, this Storm is a scary sight for everyone. And third base will be taken, but still, just a 2-base Protoss. And here we do see QXC, who spots the probe.
Look at that Marine stem. He's on the ball.
Yep, that was fast reaction.
So sharp. Very nice.
And look at the army supply. It is starting to go quite heavily in favor of QXC, and it is still Zealots and Stalkers.
Yeah.
These are 1-1 units
Templars,
now.
No Colossus.
He sees that's quite a large army. And sees the Templars too. That is kind of scary.
So right now, QXC should be happy taking his third base and then adding some Ghost. His 2-1 upgrades are done. I, however, feel like in this kind of low economy game, which it kind of became because of the openings and the main base being mined out so fast, Templars are going to be very, very cost efficient.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if they're able to land the correct Storm. And as we see that, Cynic Storm about to finish. And QXC's in the middle. Oh, that's a Storm that he wanted to land. And that was a juicy one. Stalkers blink to the right. And
another one.
As you say, in a game of such low economy,
yeah,
that could be game right now because he
supplies are similar, but I mean QXC has more workers and those Storms are so sick. And can QXC hold on? If he can't hold on, well, he does have a third base advantage, and it looks like he actually might be able to. The supplies are still so similar. What a close game this is.
He's lost all the medivacs there. He needs to get those back out. He needs to replenish immediately here because there's another wave about to join this, and there's a lot of Zealots in this. +2 attack for the Archon Stalkers and the Zealots. QXC is hurting, is bleeding with these units, and after all that, after such a game, is it going to end in this way? QXC evacuates his third, realizing he cannot defend it, and it is run to the hills for the American player. Where are those medivacs?
As long as QXC can get one decisive fight where he stims and just kills all these units, he's in like a golden position to win.
Yeah. I'm
really happy with the fact he lifted his third command center and he's deciding to wait this out. Here goes the stim!
Oh, there's no high tempo. Okay, high tempo coming from the left-hand side here. Oh, time warp down and there's
2 Storms available.
Storms.
Missed the first one.
The second one was pretty good there. And QXC SNV's melted. And he's down in supply. And those couple of Storms combined with the time warp, which was pretty awesome there.
Storm. Another Storm.
And the Archon jumps in and he's going to clear it. GG. And Deer takes map number 1 here. Just map number 1 after all that. In this best of 3.
QXC, so close. The American qualifier, so close. He almost beat Patience.
Yeah.
Then he plays this game against Deer, where he's just like so close to victory, but Deer just barely managed to squeeze out those 4 or 5 Storms, which really hit the money spot.
Yeah.
And despite having a much better mouse for the second part of that game,
he's still on that mouse, man.
He still could not dodge those Storms, and
I wonder if his mouse is just completely broken. That is actually a disaster for a pro gamer. I mean how would you lose your clothes? It doesn't matter. Your mouse is broken, you're screwed.
It doesn't matter how much I practice before an event. If I have to switch to another mouse mid-game.
And who else is going to have that 10-year-old Logitech mouse?
I'm going to feel really bad. It's a rough position for QXC.
And he's had to switch mouse mid-game here. And as you said, switching mouse then going up against... I think it's safe to say Deer's up there, top 5 Protoss in the world. This is not an easy task that the American is now faced with. And QXC comes into this next map on Heavy Rain. This is the map that he was able to pick up a game against Patience earlier on today.
He seems to focus really hard.
Yeah, this is...
I mean, if he would have just defended that one attack, he would have been in such a good position that last game.
And we know that QXC, full of emotions, I'm sure if it's actually that his mouse is just broken down, then...
that he doesn't break his keyboard. Although it seems to be a cheap Dell keyboard, so...
Do you want to know a funny thing about QXC?
What?
Is that because of his repetitive nature of breaking keyboards, and it was getting expensive, he actually went out... he went out and bought 10 to $15 keyboards that he plays on. The Dell keyboard.
The Dell keyboard. Yeah, that's a cheap one. If you have a habit of smashing keyboards, that's a cheap option.
He's got disposable keyboards, I suppose we can say. But yeah, getting ready for this next one. And just by looking at QXC there, he's still messing around with this mouse, just kind of rolling and flicking and
How sick would
picking.
it be if he actually won the series with a new mouse? Like,
Yeah.
he would be a legend forever. I would praise him forever because it's just amazing.
All right.
Can we have Deer switch mouse as well to make this more fair somehow?
Equal mouse, please. As Deer in his I learned from QXC varsity jacket.
Baseball,
It's called.
American style jacket.
Yeah. So
I think
the
it looks
new
pretty
mouse box.
badass.
Yeah, I do like it actually. I do like it. And yeah, look at that QXC. I really think though that not only the mouse problems, I'm pretty sure that he felt that game was almost his as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if he hadn't sat in those two storms, imagine a fight in the middle of the map where he evaded the storms.
Yeah, if he would have just pulled back to his third base and made like a really nice concave, he could have dominated that fight. But it's really hard when you play those kind of games where it starts out with a proxy 2 racks, and like how do you establish like which position you are in compared to your opponent? Because it's like a totally different game than you would normally play on ladder. And, you know, QXC did really well, just barely not enough.
All right, and now he needs to survive this next map to survive in the tournament. There's Deer leading by 1. And down here, south sides of Heavy Rain, the map he won earlier against Patience, needs to do that again. Playing for Complexity, representing the United States of America, it's QXC. QXC will win.
USA.
All right, you want to do this one? I saw you get him so much better.
In the top left, the blue Protoss player representing Mouse Sports, it is Deer. Germany.
He's been staying in Germany. He's actually been
he's-
staying in Cologne. He's been staying with Minsik and MC for actually since Finland, since 2 weeks
I really
now.
like that actually. Like it makes the European ladder much more competitive when these Korean top players stay in Europe. But I feel like he's gonna go back after this tournament, right?
I imagine so, yes. He has to fight glory in other parts of the world.
He's playing WCS Korea, right?
All right, so QXC is got a 12 barracks and 12 gas. Previously, when he played here against Patience, he opened up with 4 Reapers and was able to get, I think it was roughly 6 probe kills, and then combining 6 probe kills with a failed Oracle attack, which just kind of suicided into Marines.
And then he had that sick timing push on the natural when the photon overcharge ran out.
Yeah, he played it out really, really well. But coming into this map, I'm pretty sure that whenever these Koreans are playing at a tournament together, they are
talk
very
about it, yeah.
friendly and they converse with each other. And I'm more than certain that they would have spoken, or Deer would have spoken to Patience, be like, you know that game, how did you lose?
Yeah.
And then obviously it would have been told. So I'm sure Deer's well aware of what happened earlier today.
More than anything, Korean players want Korean player to win as a national pride kind of thing. So
Yeah.
they do help each other a lot. And Deer actually going for double gas here, so it looks like he wants to do some kind of tech opening.
Yeah, by the looks of it here. Still has 2 in 2 in the assimilators back home. Definitely could tech choice, whether it be Twilight Council or Stargate here. 2 of the most prominent ones to be seen. Doesn't necessarily need to do it before the Nexus, can easily do it afterwards here. But QXC does have an SCV Scout and is also got the reactor
yeah.
ready for these double Reapers. So he's actually going to be trying to play this full of information. As he pokes in the main base, sees the double gas, realizes that the option of
So much gas
Tech
for
is
Deer.
there.
What do you think he's going to do with this? There's a
I
bunch-
wouldn't be surprised if it was a Twilight Council, actually. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm not sure.
A quick blink call in the series.
Yeah, it could be. It's a good map
Great
for
map
it.
for it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a really good map for it. He's going to want to eliminate the SCV first, of course, before just throwing it down. It doesn't necessarily need to be Blink. It definitely still could be Stargate. Also, it still could be Robotics Facility. I mean, anything is possible from this choice, from this position that he set up to make that choice.
Getting a Stalker, though, so I definitely think Twilight Council here. Just get a lot of Stalkers and try to do Blink Micro.
He's got a pylon behind the Nexus, which I think is really fascinating. I think that's where he's going to throw his tech choice, actually, behind the natural.
That's not where the Reapers are going to go. It's going to be a Robo. Okay,
Yeah.
so a more conservative opening here for Deer. And these double Reapers are actually sneaking around the Mothership core. It's not at home. There's going to be 1 Stalker.
And the Reapers aren't really going to check the natural. That's why I think this placement's very intelligent there by Deer. And he's going to poke him with these double Reapers. He's only built 2 and has actually stopped and gone over to the factory and will be looking towards Widowmine production very, very shortly here. But QXC's played a different style of Widowmines. He was playing them very passively.
Very defensively.
In terms of if he wasn't getting a starport at all, to actually carry them over the other side of the map to be aggressive. And here's his second barracks. And I think this is QXC's anti-blink build that he's spoken about across this weekend, where it is Widowmines, the second barracks after the factory, and he places the Widowmines defensively here. But if it's not blink play, and it's just a regular game from Deer, then Deer's going to find himself in a pretty decent position, just naturally.
Like with this observer opening, Deer's probably going to head into upgrades and then just try to scout QXC and play defensive and then try to win with superior upgrades and possibly Storm.
And QXC's playing this so cautiously, and I think Deer's taking full advantage of that. He's going to poke to the natural
Already getting
here.
4 gas, Deer is.
Yeah, super fast 4 gases. QXC's still tucked in one base. He's got his command center inside his main. He hasn't got a starport to actually transport these Widowmines. So,
Or do it, yeah.
and he's actually got the Widowmine planted outside of his third base area where the Blink Stalkers would naturally be coming from. So, and he's building the engineering bay. Just a very defensive game here from QXC, but it's the complete opposite of a build that he want to be using against what we're seeing from Deer. He was actually fast forwarded towards the robotics bay off just the Stalker and Mothership core here.
Yeah, and Deer actually already took a 11 probe lead, and he's getting a very fast robotics bay. So Deer's setting himself up very well for a defensive macro Protoss game here, and QXC is not going to get anything done.
Well, he sees the Chrono Boost on the Nexus and sees an Assimilator, and at this point you have to be saying, oh, okay, this guy is on multiple gases now and is flying ahead with his economy and tech, which is 42 probes to 29.
Yeah.
It's a massive advantage here that Deer's got
QXC
himself
do about
in.
it, though? He doesn't really have any offensive
Well, I
offensive
suppose
options.
he's the only offensive options is just to walk across the map and use Widowmines and try to play something out. But with Photon Overcharge, that'll buy more than enough time to get the first Colossus out, which will shut it down very easily. So through QXC playing this so defensively, he is behind.
He's even getting a bunker and a turret, and
Yeah,
he's
got
have
everything.
A queue, and this placement of the robotics just turned out so well for Deer. Like QXC just doesn't have any idea what's going on really.
Well, he's going to enter the mid game behind it. It's as simple as that from this position here.
This is a nice large attack, but at the same time, the Mothership core does have 200 energy, so...
And the Colossus is out, so...
The Colossus is out,
by the time it gets there, that is. And there's no stim, so this army may not even be able to escape here. And there's 2 sentries, so he's got to be very careful with this, because not only if he's playing behind and then loses his army to a couple of Force Fields and the Colossus dealing out this damage, then I think we can all put together where this is going. But there's about to be 5 extra gateways added onto this to actually go up to 6.
Yeah.
So
looks like a big Colossus all in actually off 2 bases, which is a very smart follow-up.
And where's the Photon Overcharge?
Not even needed.
Oh, he's actually going to go for the Time Warp. He's just going to go for the army. Where's the Force Fields to wrap around that? Didn't want to try.
Wow.
He's got the... Oh! I don't know how many kills that got there on that left-hand side. I don't think too many.
Only 1 worker killed.
Okay.
By both sides.
Yeah, but I think we're just going to see a massive Stalker warp in here, like you say. And,
yeah, 2 Colossus, going to have range, going to have force fields, 2 sentries.
And QXC's only just now...
It's going to be such a rough defense right now.
It's 10 minutes, and Stim's not done, +1 attack is not done, Medivac's aren't done. You can just kind of compare that to where the usual terrain would be at the 10-minute mark, and QXC is, at least a minute behind here. And we're about to see this big attack, and this is going to be very difficult to hold on to. And...
There's Colossus range finishing up, and now Deer's got all the tools.
Look at all those Stalkers. And this is going to be, if he loses, a sad way to lose out. And the great force field there. Still quite a few units, but without combat shield, and Medivac's only just now entering. It's going to be a hard hold. The bunker goes down immediately here, Rhett, and I'm finding this very difficult to see a way for QXC to hold on to this.
Still full health, and just some Medivacs, no Vikings, and Deer's just pushing in, feeling very confident. Colossus with range, and QXC going for a last final stim, but there's just so many Protoss units, and QXC can't really do anything, and this is the end.
His build was set up to defend against everything but a normal game, and Dia is just going to walk over this one. Good game called, and Dia takes the 2-0 over QXC. QXC's Intel Extreme Masters here in Cologne has come to an end, and Dia moves on to play in the rematch against Jack G.
Yeah, sick matchup. I feel a little bit sad for QXC. I mean, he played really impressive series against Patience, and then in the first game against Deer, he looked really good. Then he had to switch mouse, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I feel like he's still he's practiced a lot, and he's in good shape.
Yeah,
but if you're playing Deer and Patience, like it's hard. It's hard, man.
Yeah, and I cannot even start to imagine the frustration that must be to to practice so hard, to do so well at the start of the game, and then kind of have to switch out mid-game there. And, well, whatever the case, Dia is the player that moves on here. And as mentioned, will be going up against Jack G. Jack G outclassed Dia earlier, but then Patience was able to deliver a killing strike to Jack G to go through into the next round, which leaves Jack G in the final game of the evening. And I think it's going to be a different quality game here.
Let's hope for one Terran here to make it through.
Could have 4 out of 4 Protoss if Dia was to win this rematch.
If Jack G does not make this, all hopes are on Polt, Jaedong Innovation, Hero Marine. I mean,
yeah, imagine top 8 Protoss. As you said, it might be possible.
well, Jaedong will just eat them all alive.
Jaedong.
I have no doubts in my hero, so I still believe.
And of course, Jaedong and Innovation, Bolt and Hero Marine will be playing tomorrow in Group C, which is be starting at the same time as today's games. So if you want to catch those, do make sure to tune in tomorrow. But we are now just one game away from finishing up day 2 here at the Intel Extreme Masters. We have 3 Protoss players advanced so far in the likes of Rain, Hero, and Patience. And we're about to find out the 4th not too long from now. Is it going to be Jack G? Is it going to be Dia? But before that, I'm going to hand it over to Red Eye.
Thank you very much, Sean. Quick update from the social media desk here right now. We've still got some Valentine's cards coming in from you, so we're very grateful, by the way, and thank you for so many of you. I'm just sorry that we haven't been able to show them all, but keep them coming. We do have one more segment where we can show Valentine's cards. So we've got one more to show you right now, which is from Brandon Goodrick, if we can put this one up. This one says, at IEM, happy V-Day. We were meant to be merged. Very nice. Very good. Very subtle. Keep them coming, the Valentine's cards. All you need to do is, if you want to send a Valentine's card to any of the guys here, any of the players, the commentators, even me if you really want to, just have a look at the bottom of the screen right now. Tweet at #IEM on Twitter. You can include at IEM if you want to as well. If you really fancy it, you can also leave us a message on facebook.com/IEM. We have just one more game to go this evening from Group B. Who is the last man through to the quarterfinals? We're about to find out. Don't go too far away.